A CAM who is attending a social function, he meets the managing director of a company X Limited. Now they decide to meet again at a coffee, and while next week they meet again, the CAM and the Mr. X at a cafe shop. So CAM comes to know that there was a enforcement directorate raid where they had recovered huge amount of cash with the company. And then there was also an income tax investigation whereby the bogus capital gain through penny stock was highlighted. So all these things were the issue in the company. The company, the director offered that will remove the existing auditor and appoint X for a handsome fees. Now, is this acceptable? Whether this can be taken into consideration, is this acceptable? Is what the question is. So whether this is acceptable or not. Now, in this case, you have SQC1, quality control for the firm, performing audit review of historical financial information, other assurance and related services. Before accepting a new engagement, you need to look into the integrity of the client should be considered, and you should check that whether the client is involved in any money laundering or criminal activity. So before you accept the client, you should see the acceptance and continuance of client. That's the thing actually. So that is the thing. The firm, before they accept an engagement, they should acquire certain vital information about the client, and this information will help the firm to decide whether to accept or continue with the client relationship. You need to look into the integrity of the client, the promoter, the key managerial person, competence, capability, time, and resources to perform the engagement, compliance with ethical requirements. So, is there a compliance with the ethical requirement? The firm should also obtain information as it considers necessary in the circumstances before accepting an engagement with a new client. And while deciding whether to continue an existing engagement as well. So, should I accept a new engagement? Now, here in this case, if you see, there is a case of enforcement directorate raid, income tax investigation is happening, okay, and they are removing the existing auditor. This thing. So, where the issue has been identified, the firm decides to accept or continue the client relationship or a specific engagement. So, the firm is required to document certain aspects. First of all, about the integrity of the client, the firm, they will consider what? The identity and the business reputation of the principal owner, key management, related party, and those charged with governance. So you should see the reputation of a person, nature of client's operation, what are the business practices of the client, what is the nature of operations of the client, that you have to highlight actually here. Then also the information concerning the attitude of the client's principal owner, key management, and those charged with governance. So, what is their attitude of the client, of the key management person, of those charged with governance? So, are they doing any aggressive interpretation of accounting standards? Are they having a aggressive interpretation of internal control environment? And whether the client is aggressively concerned with maintaining the firm's fees as low as possible. So, is it are they maintaining the firm's fees as low as possible? That you have to see. And is there any limitation on the scope of the work that you need to highlight? So, whether any limitation on the scope of the work, and also whether the client is involved in a criminal activity or a money laundering activity. So, this you have to consider. So, here if you see, there are income tax raid happening and ED raid happening, or income tax raid on the grounds of what you can say bogus capital gain, and also why there is a non-reappointment of the previous firm and they are offering a new proposal to the thing. So in such case, what happens here? Definitely the integrity of the client is compromised, you as an auditor should not take up this assignment on the grounds of acceptance and continuance of client relationship. This particular offer and engagement of audit should not be accepted even though they are offering a very high amount of fees. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.